Hello and welcome back to Sports Talk Live. I'm Brian Fiocco.
I'm Taylor Maren.
And I'm Wallace.
Today, we're going to start off talking about the women's basketball team. This past week, the Lady Rams played two games, both at home, versus Mansfield and Millersville. Westchester easily defeated the Mountaineers by a score of 94-66. Amber Lynn Ortman led the team in scoring with 19 points, shooting 6 for 11 from the field, including a perfect 3 for 3 from behind the arc. So let me ask you guys, what do you think the keys to success in this game for Westchester?
Well, Brian, you're not going to beat anyone when committing 30 turnovers in 40 minutes. The full court press by the Lady Rams played a huge part, coming up with 18 steals during the game. Also to note, given that Mansfield took a total of 63 shots, that means once every 3 times they touched the ball, they committed a turnover.
Now, what Riley said was obviously an important factor in Westchester winning the game, but another thing that contributed was the bench play by Westchester. Westchester outscored Mansfield's bench 42-19 and added another 7 blocks for the Golden Rams, which helped them get the victory.
And I think overall, Westchester has the better squad in this game, so I really don't think it was any surprise that the game was a blowout. Now, the game against Millersville last Saturday was a whole nother story. Westchester started off really slow, trailing 20 at half, and in the end were able to fight back, but unfortunately coming up a little bit short, losing 68-69. What do you guys think it was about the first half that really gave the Lady Rams some problems?
Well, as I mentioned against Mansfield and how well the full court press worked, it was quite the opposite against Millersville. They broke the press with tremendous ease, which led to a lot of fast break, easy baskets at their end.
Just piggybacking off of what Riley said earlier about the press problems, another thing that worries me about Westchester is that since they are in the press and it doesn't work, they are left way out of position and have to commit fouls then. That hurt us because Mansfield capitalized on these fouls and shot 100% during the first half from the foul line.
Yeah, and overall, it was a really rough game, hard to watch. They really turned around in the second half, but unfortunately it was just a little bit too late. One of the key factors in the Lady Rams' second half turnaround was Allison Hostetter, finishing the game with 13 points, 8 assists, and 8 rebounds. We met up with her after the game for a quick interview. Let's go take a look.
All right, we're here with Allison Hostetter. Allison, I had a few questions for you.
Okay.
Today was a rough game. You guys started off slow. You went in the locker room and you started the second half off really strong. What were the changes that you guys made?
I just think, neither unit, because we do like a 5-out, 5-in, could really get into rhythm. And I think, we just talked to each other and we're like, if we want to come back in this game and get this lead back, we're going to have to play together more. And our defense was really a little kind of bad in the first half. We struggled a lot, and we just went back to our game plan. And we're like, this is what we have to do against their press. And we got back in the game, but came up short.
Yeah, it was a really good game. A controversial call right at the end. What are your thoughts on that?
It is what it is, kind of. We wanted to foul right when we scored the quick 2, and it was like 1.6 seconds left, I think, on the clock, and we definitely fouled, and the refs just didn't even blow the whistle. They wanted to get out of there, and they wanted the game to be over. So, it's going to happen.
Yeah, it was a rough loss. But
yeah, definitely was.
You recently scored your 1,000th point. How did that feel, and would you consider that your biggest accomplishment so far in your career?
Biggest accomplishment here at Westchester, definitely, probably. Because it's actually a funny story. I was 17 points short in high school of 1,000, so then I come to college and get in, so it's like a great feeling.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and it was a great feeling. It happened a couple of weeks ago at California, University of Pennsylvania, so and that was a big win for us. So yeah, it was a great feeling. It's probably one of the most memorable feelings.
And you being a senior, what are your plans after basketball and college?
After basketball, well, I'm looking to maybe get a GA position somewhere because I want to coach.
Okay.
So that's something I'm really interested in. But if that doesn't come right away, I might try pursuing basketball overseas.
Right, that sounds awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks a lot, and good luck in the rest of your season.
All right. Thank you.
A very interesting point that was talked about in the interview was that controversial call at the end of the game. Luckily, we have that video here for you. So let's break it down so you guys can make the call. Okay, so this play is going to start off with 15.2 seconds left on the clock. The ball's inbounded to Megan Carrigan. Megan brings up the ball, passes it to Allison Hostetter. She gets trapped looking for someone to pass to, can't find anyone. Throws it back to Megan Carrigan. Time's running out, puts up a shot, and makes it. Now Millersville quickly inbounds, and we foul. Right about there, that's where it looks like we fouled. Refs don't call it, game ends. Lady Rams are looking for some type of explanation of why the whistle wasn't blown. They're not going to get one, so let's take another look. In slow motion, you can see Megan Carrigan takes the ball to the basket and puts up the shot. And if you just want to stop it right about here, there's 1.6 seconds left on the clock right here. when the clock stopped and then let it go. Millersville takes the ball, brings it to inbound. Like I said, they're going to quickly inbound the ball, and this is where Jillian Kiefer is going to step up. So if you just want to freeze it here, so right here it looks like Jillian Kiefer commits the foul, and this is where the whistle should have been blown with 0.8 seconds left on the clock. It wasn't, so if you want to play it, ball gets passed, the buzzer sounds, and the refs just don't make a call. We want some type of explanation, but it doesn't seem like we're going to get it.
After watching the replay, I think it was pretty obvious. We made the basket with a second and a half left. Everyone in the arena knew we were making the fouls, exactly what we did, and it comes down to just the refs blowing the call.
Brian, you have to realize one thing, and that is that they don't have the technology that we do when coming and looking back at the game. They saw it in real time, and all they could do was just make what best call they could, and I applaud them for doing that at least, and at least trying to get it right.
You both made great points, but in my opinion, where they messed up the most was that after the game was over, they met, talked about it, and then made it seem like they were going to come out and at least give an explanation. Well, then they changed their mind and just called the game was over and ran off the court. After such a tough-fought game, the least the coaches and players deserved was an explanation on what went wrong and what happened.
Yeah, I have to agree with you there, Riley, but that's just the way the cookie crumbles, and this time it didn't go our way. But now let's turn our attention to men's basketball. Not nearly as much controversy for the men in their past two games. Westchester took care of business, beating Mansfield 92-79 this past Wednesday. Taylor, Riley, you want to break down this win for us?
For me, Brian, the key to the victory of this game was John Breeden, who scored 21 points and had 6 assists. Not only did he just manage the game in the first half, he went on to take it over in the second half. Not only scoring points, but also by his key decision-making, really led the Golden Rams to a victory this time.
That was a key point, Taylor, but we don't want to forget about the presence of the big men down low. Forwards Lance McDowell and Corey Blake combined to score 38 points and grab 17 rebounds. Another thing was their perimeter defense. They held Mansfield to just 5 of 21 from behind the arc.
The Golden Rams continued their solid play into their game against Millersville as they defeated the Marauders 81-70. Guys, the men's are on a hot streak right now. What seems to be their spark and their success?
For me, Brian, the keys are really the upperclassmen for the Westchester basketball team. Junior John Breeden and the two seniors, Khalif Foster and Lance McDowell. They are really keeping this team focused on the court and are helping them in the long run for this young team to make the playoffs.
Although that's a good point, Taylor, in my opinion, the spark for the Westchester Rams has been guard Jaleel Mack coming off the bench. He's averaging 11 points per game during conference play and has scored 10 or more points in 8 of his last 10 games. Also, his spark and energy off the bench has been key for the Westchester success.
Some very good points. Let's hope they can keep this up going into the most important part of their season. They play back-to-back games versus Kutztown and Bloomsburg on Wednesday and Saturday, who are both tied for first in the division. If they can take home both these games, that gives us a real chance to finish this season on top of the division. That's all we have for the men's, but before we move on, it's time for STL's Top Plays of the Week.
Starting off our top 10 plays at number 10, Allison Hostetter will cross over and pass it cross court to Jillian Kiefer, who will pump fake and then drain the jump shot.
And starting off for the guys at number 9, Jaleel Mack makes a nice pass to Troy Hockaday, who finishes with a nice layup.
Next, coming in at number 8, for the women, Tiffany Johnson will steal the pass and go coast to coast for the layup for the Golden Rams.
And at number 7 this week, Harley Williamson will come up with a nice block, and Troy Hockaday is there for another block for the Golden Rams.
Seeing her second top play at number 6, Allison will again cross over up the middle, pass it off to Amberly Ortman, who will then hit the buzzer beater for the Golden Rams.
At number 5, John Breeden makes the nice open court pass to Carl Johnson, who finishes with the reverse layup and the foul.
A rare one at number 4, Allison will steal the inbounds pass and make the layup. Then, on the ensuing inbounds pass, Jillian Kiefer will steal and make another and one for the Golden Rams.
The number 3 play this week, Carl Johnson gets the pass and makes another nice reverse layup.
Finally, they ended for the women. Allison Hostetter will catch the missed layup by her teammate and put it up for a ridiculous and one for the Golden Rams.
And the #1 play this week. Carl Johnson misses the layup, but Lance McDowell's there for the jam.
It looks like we had a lot of impressive plays this week. Now it's time for our newest segment, Outside the Horns, where we take a look at sports outside of Westchester. Our topic today is the Super Bowl. As I'm sure you all know, the New York Giants took home the title. Guys, what are your thoughts on this exciting contest?
Well, as an Eagles fan, I was a little disappointed that the New York Giants ended up winning. But more importantly, I just wanted to see an entertaining and competitive game, and both teams stepped up in the fourth quarter, so it ended up being very competitive, and I was happy with the end result.
The thing that I really found intriguing about this game, though, was Eli Manning and how he now has gotten 2 Super Bowl rings and has surpassed his brother, who only has 1. Another key aspect is that Eli Manning went on and beat Tom Brady, the Golden Child, for the 2nd time in the last 5 years, thus making him one of the most elite quarterbacks in the NFL, in my opinion.
How about we take a look at the entertainment aspect? What did you guys think about the halftime show, the commercials?
Well, I was the commercials were definitely better than last year. I remember being disappointed, but saying that there's still room for improvement. As far as the halftime show goes, Madonna did a good job in my opinion, but most importantly, she did not take away from the game, which has happened in the past.
For me, Madonna didn't really do too much, but as for the commercials, the M&M commercial definitely got me laughing the most, and it made me had a good time while the Super Bowl was playing.
Yeah, I have to agree. The commercials did step it up a little bit. Halftime show, mediocre in my opinion, but overall a really exciting contest, and us Eagle fans, we can always look forward to next year.
Yep.
Unfortunately, that's all the time we have for this week's edition of Sports Talk Live. We'll be here next week, same time, same place. Take it easy, Westchester.